Let's get there
Yeah.
so we don't have to be in a fucking car the whole time. I lived in a car for a year and a half. I'm done being in cars.
Really?
So
You lived in a car? Really?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, I used to truck drive. Well, I was doing hauls where I just wasn't sleeping very well, and
Yeah.
depression, not seeing my kids, stuff like that. Life shit.
Yeah.
I fell asleep behind the wheel and almost drove off of a half-mile cliff in Phoenix. Yeah, and luckily the guardrail kept me from going over the side. Another truck honked at me and woke me up, and I was able to prevent going off the side. Parked the truck. As soon as I got back to the building, I parked the truck. I left the keys in the truck. I packed all my shit and I got out. I quit truck driving. And everything just kind of fell apart from there and ended up being homeless for about a year and a half down in Phoenix.
Shit.
So, yeah. So it's pretty well known up here. Like people who are on my Facebook, like they were, if you were friends with me at the time, like all the shit that was going on, all the problems I was having. So yeah, it happens. I'm getting on my feet now. So
Oh, that's awesome, man. But like, what would you say was the turning point, man? Because like to go living in your car for like you said a year and a half, like what was the turning point that sort of like got you out of that moment and into like a more positive and you know what I mean, like in a proper house? Like what was the turning point to make you turn that shit around?
well, like well, my son lives in Phoenix, and at the time, or at this point, me and his mother broke up. So I was kind of on my own. And the thing that really did it was I was coming home from a show with a couple of green kids, and I just made some really, really inappropriate, dumb jokes towards the driver, who was a female, who was
Yeah,
my age, just started. Like, I was rolling a joint while we're driving, so I'm thinking, oh, we're breaking federal laws, I'll just make some stupid jokes. I made sure everyone knew beforehand, like, if I say something inappropriate, tell me. Like, I'm a dude where I'll just say whatever. Like, everyone has different humors. I have a very dark humor and a very gross humor. So uh, I make sure everyone knows beforehand that I'm, very open to change. Don't, if I say something wrong, tell me. I don't pay attention to trends. I don't, like, I'm a 90s kid, so anything is fair game. I'm sure back in the day you remember mama jokes. I'm sure
yeah,
you remember blonde jokes,
yeah,
and I'm sure you remember dead baby jokes.
yeah.
Like, that's just what our humor was during the 90s. So people nowadays, I can see why they would get offended by that. Sensitive
Oh,
bastards. So, but I just said some really inappropriate jokes and just really dumb statements, and ended up getting blackballed in the area. And I was like, okay, it's I gotta leave. I have no one here. I have no one whatsoever. I have no family. I have no wrestling. I have no one down here to like keep an eye on my back,
yeah.
because you can't trust everybody. And that really pushed me to be like, all right, that's it. It's done down here. Like, nothing is working down here. I have to go back to Missouri and get back on my feet. And luckily Randy West, was it Randy West, her husband Joseph Swartz, and Hoodfoot were all down in Phoenix for a show that weekend, and they ended up grabbing me and bringing me back up. So I lucked out as far as them being down there and getting out of my situation, because it was starting to get, like, literally I was probably at the bottom of life at that point. I definitely hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
So